When I'm talking with leaders, I like to ask this question regularly: what should you do more of and what should you do less of? And by no surprise at all, when we get to the topic of what we should do less of, regularly comes out email. That frustrating task of life comes up regularly. So hearing this so frequently, what should we do less of? We should do less email, has made me ask and really wonder and try to figure out, how many emails do leaders get a day? So I started asking around, how many do you get? And the answer recurringly comes out somewhere in the range of 150 emails. So senior leaders are getting 150 emails a day. So if we pause and we think about that for one brief moment, how much time do you spend on email? So if I get 150 emails, I touch each email just 1 minute, that's actually 2.5 hours of your day are a slave to the email. But wasn't email supposed to be a tool of productivity? Not something to take up 2.5 hours of my day, but actually something to give me more time looking into the future. Instead of becoming a tool of productivity, email has actually become a slave-master relationship. And unfortunately for most of us, we're not the master of that relationship. We have become a slave to our inbox. So if you think about it for a moment, you spend 2.5 hours a day in front of your email. What's the economic impact of that for your organization? So if you're an organization that has 1,000 employees, that means that 800 of your employees are individual contributors and about 200 fall into the leadership and management rank. So about 20% would be leaders and managers. So if I look at that for a moment, I want to know, how much does email really cost my business? So if each manager or leader spends 2.5 hours per day on email using average pay scales, it means you spend roughly 20 million dirham per year on just email. 20 million dirham per year is a cost sitting in the space of email. I don't know about you, but that is quite alarming and quite scary. So it means that we need to step back and say, wait a minute, how is this alleged tool of productivity actually standing in the way of the real productivity? What do we need to do? Well, the first thing is we could actually run an analysis of our email. I would like you to run an analysis of your email and simply answer this question: how many of them came from the @yourcompany.com.ae, whatever your company is? How many emails are driven just from internal activity, and how many are coming from the outside, coming from customers and the relationships on the outside? The second thing to look at, how many emails are in the to line and how many are in the CC line? When you start looking and you're finding all of these emails in the CC line, it says, wait a minute, we may have another problem going on. Historically, CC meant carbon copy. I had a piece of paper, I put a piece of carbon paper in between, another piece of paper, put it in the typewriter, and that's so somebody could get the other information. CC has switched today to CYA, and CYA basically stands for cover your backside. What we need to do is change from trying to cover up to using email actually as a tool of productivity.